Hello everyone, Qeth here, and today I have the third rendition of my witch potion farm. This one is fully AFK, it uses eggs, and it's also toggleable between all four potion types just like my last one. So I'll explain each different type in just a moment, but let me first explain the general concept behind this farm. So up here I have a clock which is spawning in witches. Now yours would be spawned in from a witch farm using a witch hut, and JL has a great design for one, so I'll link to his in the description in case you want to build one. Now the witches are going to flow down this water stream and land right here. And at that point the player will be standing over either this dropper or this dropper depending on which potion you want to get, and a clock will be running dispensing eggs. And the player is going to just hold down right click and it's going to automatically throw the eggs as they're dispensed. Now what this is going to do is it's going to tag the witch and trick the witch into thinking that it's killed by a player. So for a witch to drop a potion, two things have to happen. It has to be using the potion that you want it to drop, and the player has to kill it. Now this is going to trick the game, when you hit him with the egg, into thinking that you're killing the witch, when actually the iron golem back there is going to be killing it. So we make sure that the witch is going to be holding a potion. We hit it with the egg. It's going to get knocked backwards a little bit into this chamber here, and then the iron golem will kill it and it will drop whatever potion it may be holding. Now one important thing to note is that a potion is a rare drop from a witch. So that means it will only drop about 2.5% of the time, or 1 out of every 40 witches will drop it. So now that's important to note for your testing because it could very easily, you could get unlucky and you could kill say 100 witches and not get a potion. And you might think that the farm isn't working, but in fact you just got a little bit unlucky with that. But with this farm being AFK, you can just AFK here overnight and get tons and tons of witches falling and lots of chances to get potions. Okay, so let me briefly explain how to toggle between each potion type and also how each mode works. So by default you have a top half slab right here and nothing below it so that you can easily hit the witches when they drop right there. Now this mode will only give you instant health potions. And one good thing to note is that you should always try to aim for the side of the wall a little bit. You don't want to be hitting the witches, with the exception of the speed potion, when they're back here on these two blocks, because you don't want the witches to be taking damage from the eggs when they should be taking damage from the iron golem. So you want to aim, if you're standing right on this dropper, for around the side of the wall. You can cheat a little bit over to the side here and aim maybe between those two blocks, and you can fool around with it a little bit. Just make sure that you're always hitting the witches when they fall down there. Now to switch this to speed potion mode, hit the center button, and that's just going to switch the top half slab and the bottom half slab. And this dropper back here is purely for speed potions. So at this point, since you're more than 11 blocks away from the witches, they'll be able to see you and drink a speed potion, thinking that they can run after you. Now you're going to hit them while they're drinking it with the egg, and the iron golem is going to kill them. So moving on to water breathing potions, this button up here you can see changes a couple of things. This block pulls back, so you're actually going to throw the eggs up here like so. You can also aim for the side if you want, it helps a little bit. And with this one, just make sure that you're always hitting them even if they're floating near the edge of the water there. So what they're going to do is they're going to swim up like this. They're going to get their head in the water here, and that's why they're going to drink the water breathing potion. And while they're there, you're going to hit them through this block with an egg, and they'll fall back and get killed by the iron golem. Alright, so you have to turn each of these off after you use them. Now this last one is the fire resist potion. You see some lava coming here. And this may be a little bit confusing. You may think that if they die here, their drops are going to get burnt by lava. That's actually not true. If you see right here, we'll throw a couple of eggs into the lava. You see they look like they're getting burnt. I think we threw 4 right there. But if we look in the chest, all 4 made it through. So when the witches died, the hopper is going to pick it up before the items burn for the most part. So when they fall down right here, you hit them back, they go into the lava, start burning, and the iron golem will kill them. Now, it's important to note that for all of these modes, you're actually going to get a mix of instant health and the potion. And that's because iron golems are a little bit inconsistent with how they kill the witches. Sometimes they wait a little bit, sometimes they don't. And if you get a little bit unlucky, then the iron golems won't kill the witches while they're actually drinking the potion. The last cool thing about this design is that if you're getting one of the potions that require you to stand on this dropper, you'll also get experience as you go, so it works as an AFK experience farm. And in fact, if you want to build this design without any of the redstone here, it will still work as an experience farm for normal mobs. So say if you had a zombie spawner or a normal mob system, you could just build this design without having to worry about any of this redstone, and it would work as an AFK experience farm. Before you start building this design, it's important to note that it works best facing in the west or north direction. The reason for that is that if you face to the south or east, the iron golem is going to kill the witches when they drop right there. Now you could remedy this by moving the killing chamber over by 1 and having the witches come right there and the iron golem be shifted over 1. But just for the sake of ease, we're going to build this facing west so it will work properly. Alright, so I'm going to be building this a lot out of glass. You see I made a couple of markers. That one's 11 blocks away, and this one is just 4. Now I'm going to be building it out of glass just so you can see inside a little easier. Since you're going to be building this underground most likely, you're going to want to use more solid blocks. So, place water back here for the water stream, and a sign at the end there. Now above this sign, you're going to have your dispenser eventually. So the water is going to be at this block right here. So you want to place some signs just around there, keep the water in. Okay, now right below here you're going to have a hopper chain, and it's going to go 2 blocks forward like that, and then into a chest here. So just place them like that, and then you're going to go 2 blocks further back for the killing chamber, and up just like so. Now if you want to make this look nice, be sure you put like your building blocks beneath there and everything. And then right here is where the iron golem is going to sit. So you want to fill in all around here with, in this case I'm using glass, but of course you'd be using a solid block. And then in the back as well. And you can go ahead and put your iron golem in here already. So you're going to want to make sure that he doesn't suffocate to death. And the easiest way to do that is to use glass around here to start off with. And then you're going to have to push him a little bit to make sure he's actually inside of here and not glitching through the blocks. So just push him a little bit. And you see he's not going to fall down there. We actually have to put a trap door though so that he's not standing right on top of there. So if you just push him over again to this corner and place a trapdoor there, it has to be a closed trapdoor. Open like that is not going to work. So that's your basic design for the building part of this. Now let's start adding some of the mechanics that help get the witches to drop the potions. Alright, let's start off with the pistons here. So you're going to place 3 sticky pistons, 1 block away from the entrance here. And then you're going to place a half slab there and a half slab there. Remember, these are going to alternate back and forth, so you don't want them right above each other, you want them alternating. And then finally on top you just want a regular piston. That's going to help power this piston actually, or update it rather, when it gets powered. Okay, now for the dispensers, you want 1 here. That's going to dispense the water bucket, so you can put that in already. And remember, the signs are going to hold it in place. And then back here, you want to poke a hole right there, and you're actually just going to go along like this and count 1, 2, 3, and the 4th block should be on top of that dropper, or hopper rather. And you're going to place another hopper back just so that if any items fly into here, they get picked up as well. Now back here you're going to place a dispenser, facing upwards, and this is going to have your lava bucket. So lava spreads 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to close that up so that the lava doesn't spread everywhere. Okay, now just to set up for the wiring, we're going to go 3 blocks back, and then on the 4th block you're going to make a tower of 3, and you can place your buttons there already if you want. The last bit of hardware we need is chicken related. So with all these eggs being thrown, you're going to get a lot of baby chickens. And what you're going to do is actually dig 2 blocks down like this, trapdoor on this far block there, and then behind here we're going to trap an adult chicken. And that's going to make the baby chickens try to get over there and fall into the lava. So sad. So here we can use just a spawn chicken egg. You'll of course have to use eggs and then wait till it grows up. And just like that, now you should place a non-solid block on top of here. You don't want the chickens running over like this onto the trapdoor like so. So you just place 2 non-solid blocks so you can open up the chest down there. And then we also want to put in the droppers that are going to give us the eggs. So one is going to be diagonal from the chest there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks, and then the 7th block you see is 11 blocks away from the witches. And you're going to place your second one right here. Now you got to connect these using a dropper or hopper chain. Keep confusing those. It's just going to go along like this, 3 blocks back, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you see centered here, if we put a double chest, it's going to split the eggs between these 2 chains of hoppers. So on top of there, you're going to put another hopper. Now you can bring in the eggs from anywhere you want. So you could, say, have your egg farm way over there and bring them in with a hopper chain like so. But for the sake of this, we're just going to put our chickens right in here. So your chickens would go there, and then you can seal it off like so. Now you also can build the wall right now, just like so, 2 high or however many high you want to make it, all the way along to here. And then if you get a lever, you can place a lever 1 block towards the center from each of these droppers. Alright, now for the wiring. Okay, let's start off with the wiring for the egg dispensers. So right below this lever we want a redstone dust, and then towards the center we want a torch like so, and then we're going to dig out like this and loop the redstone just like that. A repeater going into the block below the dropper is going to power it. That's set to 3 ticks of delay, and then you just loop the redstone like so. So you see it's making the clock, pull the lever, and it'll stop it, and then you can cover that up with your floor blocks, and I've just mimicked this except mirrored over here. Okay, so for this wiring, it's a little more difficult, but still pretty easy. We're going to start off with this middle button here. So take the redstone signal out of the block with the repeater, goes into a piston with a block, that's going to make it a monostable circuit, and then another repeater going into this top piston will power both of these. So hit this button, it's going to switch those 2 half slabs. And remember, top half slab there is the default. Okay, now going up, we're going to go with a torch, block, torch, and then we're going to take redstone dust from this and go into another monostable circuit, just like that, pull it out with a redstone repeater, and then these 2 blocks have to change to solid blocks, and you're going to put redstone dust there and there. And that'll power both the dispenser and that piston right there. So you see, hit it once, turns into water breathing, and again off. Alright, now the bottom is the easiest. You're just going to dig a redstone line all along like this. You see I've already dug out a little bit over here, and it's just going to go all the way to your dispenser here with the lava bucket. Then you can fill that in. If you want to make it go 1 block lower so you can't see it, you can also do that. And that's it for the wiring. To finish off your build, just make sure that you put a roof over the killing chamber if it doesn't already have one, and then also a block here and here on the last 2 blocks of the water stream so that your witches don't jump up and down right there. It has to be 2 blocks tall. And then for this water stream, you don't want the witches to be able to hop up and see you as they're flowing down, so either cap it off or you could just increase the height of this wall a little bit, either way. And then fill up your chicken farm until you get a nice constant supply of eggs. If you don't get a constant supply of eggs, it's not going to affect instant health potions or fire resist potions all that much, but it will affect your water breathing and speed potion rates. So keep that in mind. Other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.